Hello, 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 beautiful people, and welcome back to He Standard TV. We've discussed professionalism, we've discussed service, and today's topic is consistency and the importance thereof. Consistency is defined as a pattern of behavior. It's also defined as resistance to movement. That being said, consistency is the willingness to have a stance. That could be positive or negative. There's things that we consistently do that aren't good. There's things that we consistently do that are good. In this industry, what are we consistent at doing? Are we consistent with the quality of haircut that we give? Are we consistently on time? Are we consistently professionally dressed? Do we consistently present ourselves as hygienic? Do we consistently present ourselves as a person of style, so then we could be trusted to help someone enhance their style? Successful brands are consistent in what they give. How many times have you gone into Nordstrom's and it's been dirty? How many times have you purchased a Kia or a Hyundai and did not get a 10-year warranty? How many times have you gone into a Nike store and the employees did not have on Nike? How many times have you gone into a Ralph Lauren store and the employees did not have on Ralph Lauren? How many times have you been a patron of Chick-fil-A and you said thank you and the person did not say my pleasure? I'm sure that there may be some deviances from that, but more often than not, those brands are consistent. And because of that consistency, they empower their client base to have an expectation and something to hold them accountable to. We should have that in this industry. You should have that in any industry, but in the hair industry, we should have some form of consistency, professional, service-oriented consistency that allows our clients to hold us to an expectation and allow our clients to hold us accountable to a particular thing. The motto of He Standard is we uphold and establish the barber standard, and every He has a standard and we meet it. That's something that clients can hold us accountable to, accountable for. That's an expectation set. You must have, in order to be consistent, the must have is discipline. You must have discipline. In the religious sense of the word, we hear the word disciple so often. It's an adherent to some strong principles. It's a follower, but the true root word of a disciple is a disciplined person. I heard a gentleman, Bishop Freddie Haynes, say that a person of conviction is a person that's a prisoner to their principles. So we have to have this kind of thing. But moving further along, we need to have discipline in order to be successful in this industry. And you pick what you're going to be disciplined to, but you must be disciplined to something, or consistency is not a possibility for you. In Outliers, Malcolm Gladwell makes mention to the 10,000 hour rule. And a person that does something for after doing something for at least 10,000 hours, a person becomes a master of that thing. Some of the many examples that Malcolm, Mr. Gladwell draws from is Bill Gates and the Beatles and those kind of people. For people that aren't read or don't care about business as much, you think of Tom Brady and how he is a master of what he does. You think of Kobe Bryant and how he's a master of what he does. Kobe Bryant, after losing a game, does not leave the stadium. Well, before retirement, did not leave the stadium. He stayed in the stadium and watched film on what he could have potentially done wrong. Floyd Mayweather, as braggadocious as he was, he did not lose because he was disciplined enough to master his craft by repetitive study, by establishing a routine. And I think that one of the things that is lacking, I went to the World Hair Show, Armstrong McCall World Hair Show last year, and I was brokenhearted. There was not adequate representation of barbers. There wasn't adequate education for the barbering industry, and we were outnumbered. I don't feel that was intentional. I think that it's not something of value to us. Cosmetologists value education more than barbers. It's a reality today. But when a person gets a degree in traditional college, that person gets a bachelor, an associate's, and a bachelor's degree. But in order to get a master's degree, in order to become a master of a field, that person has to do postgraduate studies that specialize in that industry, that particular degree plan. Oftentimes, more often than not, we graduate from barber college and we never study again. We don't revert back to YouTube. We become consistently complacent. Again, I referenced previously that you can be consistent, and be consistent is something that is not positive. You can become consistent in something that's not conducive to your growth. But the truth is, if you're not growing, then you are dying. There's nothing in life that's standing still. I charge us to, on top of being professional and on top of being professional and service oriented, to be consistent. Find something to be consistent in that benefits the client and subsequently benefits your business and subsequently benefits the industry. It's ours to uphold and firmly establish a standard. Thank you, love you, appreciate you tuning in for the third day. Like, subscribe, offer comments. Let's make this industry better.